What if every dollar you spend, was it really a piece of your life? Not metaphorically, literally, your time, your energy, your days on this planet, because that's what money is. It's not just a number in your bank account. It's the time you traded to earn it and the time you'll never get back. You go to work, you get paid, but then you spend that paycheck trying to escape the stress of the job that earned it, streaming subscriptions, takeout dinners, weekend retail therapy, and the cycle continues. We've been trained to think of financial success as numbers, income, savings, and investments, but your money or your life offers something radical, a blueprint for freedom that starts not with more, but with enough. In this video, you'll discover 12 game-changing lessons that can change how you see money forever, from how to measure the real cost of your job, on how to track your expenses with radical honesty, how do you reach financial independence even if you're not rich. So if you're tired of trading your life for things that don't matter, this is your wake-up call. Subscribe now if you're ready to stop surviving and start designing, because your money is your life and you deserve to live it on purpose. Chapter 1. The Wake-Up Call. Lesson 1. Money is life energy. Think about this. You don't get paid in dollars. You get paid in hours of your life. Every time you swipe your card, you're not just spending cash. You're spending time, the most finite resource you have. This is what 𝗬𝗵𝗽𝗁 calls your life energy. It's the effort, time, stress, and mental space you exchange for every paycheck. And if you don't track that, you're spending your life unconsciously. So before we can talk about financial freedom, we need to ask the most important question: what are you trading your life for? Lesson 2. Your real hourly wage is lower than you think. Most people look at their salary and think they're doing well. But your real income isn't what's on your contract, and it's what's left after everything it costs you to work. Let's say you earn $20 an hour, but every week you also spend 6 hours commuting, $50 on lunches, $100 on clothes for work, and 5 hours decompressing because your job drains you. Add it all up, subtract the costs, and you might make $10 an hour or less. That's your real hourly wage, and once you know it, you'll start thinking differently about what's worth buying. A $100 pair of shoes doesn't just cost money, it might cost 10 hours of your life. And suddenly the question isn't, can I afford this? It becomes, is this worth 10 hours of me? Lesson 3. Tracking every expense changes everything. Most budgeting advice says spend less, but your money or your life says track everything. Not to shame yourself, but to wake up. Every dollar should come with a question. Did this bring me joy? Was it aligned with my values? Would I trade the same amount of life energy again for it? Something shifts once you start tracking your spending with radical honesty, without excuses or guilt. You stop seeing money as fuel for impulse and start seeing it as a mirror of what you value most. Because if your money is constantly flowing toward things that don't bring real fulfillment, maybe it's not your budget that's broken, maybe it's your awareness. Most people don't need more income, they need more clarity. And this first step is realizing that your money is your life. It can change everything that follows. Chapter 2. Rewiring value in spending. Lesson 4. Ask yourself, was this worth my life energy? Let's say you tracked a $40 dinner. At first, no big deal. You were tired, so it was convenient. But now you know your real hourly wage, and suddenly you see it cost you 4 hours of your life. Now comes the critical question. Was it worth it? Not just was the food good, but would I trade 4 hours of my existence for this again? When you start thinking this way, spending becomes conscious. You begin to see through the fog of convenience, impulse, and marketing, because the price tag never includes the full cost. The full cost is your time, your energy, your life. Lesson 5. Spend according to your values, not to impress others. Most people don't overspend because they're greedy. They overspend because they're disconnected. Disconnected from their values, disconnected from what brings them joy, and deeply connected to comparison. We buy things because of how they look on the outside. We want to belong, feel worthy, and appear successful. But when you shift your focus to value-based spending, you stop asking, what do others think of this? And start asking, does this truly serve me? A cheap lunch eaten slowly with a friend might be more valuable than a luxury dinner posted on social media. When your spending reflects your actual self, not your projected self. Every dollar becomes a vote for the life you want to live. Lesson 6. The fulfillment curve. Here's the paradox. Sometimes more doesn't equal better. It equals less meaning. There's a point where added consumption no longer adds joy, it just adds clutter, debt, stress. Robin calls this the fulfillment curve. At first, spending brings satisfaction to basic needs and simple pleasures. Then it plateaus, where new things add less and less joy. Finally, it drops more spending, creating less satisfaction and more emptiness. Most people are stuck chasing fulfillment at the bottom of that curve, trying to buy their way back to a feeling that left long ago. But when you know where your personal enough lives on that curve, you stop running and you start choosing. Every dollar spent is a signal. It says something about who you are and what matters to you. The question is, are you spending your life on purpose or by default? Chapter 3. Escape the work, spend trap. Lesson 7. You don't need to be rich to be free. When people hear financial independence, they think of yachts, early retirement, or never having to work again. But your money or your life redefines freedom. It's not about never working, it's about never being trapped by work. You don't need a mansion or millions. You need a lifestyle where your expenses are low, your values are high, and your income doesn't cost you your soul. You can earn $40K a year and feel completely free, or earn $200K and feel enslaved. The difference isn't the number, it's the mindset. Lesson 8. The crossover point. This is the moment everything changes. It's the point where your investment income or passive income starts covering your basic living expenses. Imagine a graph. One line tracks your monthly expenses. The other is your growing monthly income from investments. At some point they intersect. That's your crossover point. It means you're financially independent, not because you're rich, but because you no longer need to work for money. Everything beyond that point is a choice, not a necessity. The power of this concept isn't just financial, it's psychological. It gives you control, and with control comes peace. Lesson 9. The meaning of enough. This may be the most powerful question in the entire book. What is enough for you? Not what's enough for Instagram. Not what's enough to impress your parents. What's enough to feel safe, supported, and free? We live in a culture that glorifies more money, more stuff, more hustle, but more isn't always better. Sometimes more is the problem. Knowing your definition of enough frees you from endless striving and permits you to stop chasing. When you define enough, you finally know where to stop. And more importantly, where to begin. Escaping the work, spend trap isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. It's about realizing that every dollar you save, every hour you reclaim, it is a small act of liberation. Financial freedom isn't a finish line, it's a direction. Chapter 4. Designing a life of true independence. Lesson 10. Time is your real wealth. We've been conditioned to believe that money is the ultimate resource, but what good is a full bank account if your calendar is empty of what matters? Time is the one thing you can't earn back, and ironically, people spend the best years of their lives chasing money they'll never get time to fully enjoy. Your money or your life flips the script. Don't ask, how can I earn more? Ask, how do I want to spend my time? And then design your finances to protect that answer. Because real wealth isn't measured in dollars, it's measured in free hours. Lesson 11. Small savings today equal big freedom tomorrow. Most people underestimate how small changes compound over time. They think freedom requires a massive income or drastic moves, but it doesn't. Every dollar you don't spend today, it's a piece of freedom you're buying for your future self. Cutting your expenses by 10% might give you 5 more years of choice later. Quitting one unnecessary subscription. You might reclaim an hour of energy from your life every month. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You need to shift the trajectory by just a few degrees consistently. Because in the long run, direction matters more than speed. Lesson 12. Financial independence is the power to choose. This is the destination behind every lesson in the book. The power of choice. The choice to work, Not because you have to, but because you want to. The choice to say no to clients, jobs, or people who drain you. The choice to build your day around meaning, not survival. Financial independence is not just an economic concept, it's a spiritual one. It gives you back your agency. It makes you the author of your time and your life. And the best part, you don't have to wait until you're rich to live this way. You just have to define what matters, track what doesn't, and align your money with your truth. You don't have to escape your life. You just have to stop spending it on things that steal it from you. Real freedom starts with a single decision to stop trading your life away and start living like it belongs to you again. You've just walked through 12 lessons that don't just change how you see money. They change how you see your time, choices, and life. Because in the end, this book isn't about money management. It's about life ownership. It's about realizing that every dollar you spend is a vote, not for stuff, but for your future, your freedom, your values. And that freedom, it doesn't start when you're rich. It starts the moment you say, this is enough, and I want more of what matters. If this video gave you something to think about, don't let it disappear into the scroll. Subscribe for more content that helps you question the default path. Share it with someone working hard but not toward what they truly want. And if you want to keep this transformation going, read The Psychology of Money by 𝗪𝗵𝗁 𝗠𝗄𝗏. It's a brilliant next step that shows why our beliefs, not our budgets, shape our financial destiny. Because money isn't the end goal, it's the mirror. And now that you've looked into it, what do you want your life to reflect?